Don't be different on air than you are off air. So you got your 2 drives. And so why they call a drive is that's when most people are in the car.
Are you vaccinated or?
The doctor there said, we cannot write this down because we have been told not to. But this is a Johnson & Johnson's induced clot for the heart. So they're trying to slip us into the AI age really undercover. So like COVIDly, right?
Now it's starting to feel almost as though like everybody who was an anti-vaxxer was right. And she says, okay, were they humans or not humans? This is under oath. This was on TV. And he was like, they're not humans.
What are they?
What do you think they are?
That's interesting.
They're not colored people.
But can you do me a favor and at least get the job done also?
Yes.
Like,
there we
I
go.
know that this job can be done for $1 million. You're going to give someone a tender of 9. You're going to keep 8 of it. But how about you get the job done?
Yeah.
My God, I wish South Africans cared about our country 10% as much as they care about rugby. This last month, I actually hit the proverbial rock bottom. The rock bottom. I was on the tiles at my house, crying. I can't. Had no car, run out of money, had no career, no purpose. I didn't mean anything I said. I was saying what I was told to say. I needed you two tonight. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is like no cameras, no anything. Like, you two have been like a message for me after a very hard time.
Yeah, give me all your attention. One time for the misfits. Through the doors open on the highway. I promise you don't want to miss this.
The Load Shed podcast.
Okay.
Today we have a really good guest on show. Strong, positive female, driven, Keri Miller.
The first lady.
The first lady.
The
We're
first
calling
lady.
her
You like
the
Michelle
first
Obama.
lady.
She's like our Michelle Obama.
She is our Michelle Obama here today. Yeah.
I've just got a water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apple
just
juice.
dilute
Just got a little
juice.
That's
water.
apple juice.
Yeah, it's from my throat.
Apple juice.
Yeah.
So Keri Miller, welcome to the Load Shed podcast. What's wrong?
I know you haven't had women in here before,
Yeah,
so I'm going to
yeah.
tell you on behalf of all women everywhere, because I represent every woman in the world.
Of course.
I'm very impressed by your guys' setup.
Thank you.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like the colors are matching. There's alive plants, real ones.
Thank you.
Harrod right
Harrod
there.
is
Harrod the
there.
plant is still
Yeah.
here. I mean, it's looking really good. It's a nice smell in here.
Thank you.
You all
Thank you.
seem very
Yeah.
put together, so well
We're
done.
trying.
Well
And
done.
we do chest.
Compliments to
Yeah.
the people who raised you.
I am
Thank you.
married, so she raised
Yeah,
me.
compliments to the wives that way raised you.
Thank you.
So it's really nice to have Keri here with us today. The Load Shed podcast, we have some really fascinating guys, and we haven't had a strong female ever. And everybody was like, yo, you guys need to get a strong female on show.
Yes.
Chuck and I did like a whole short list, and we're like, yo, this lady is really cool, but will she get on? Will she not get on? And then we just pop a DM, and then
Hey, we got lucky.
we got Keri Miller.
We got lucky.
We got Keri Miller.
Yeah,
I've never been that lucky in the DMs before in my
Jeez,
life.
like it.
In my life.
Somebody actually responded to your DMs, bro.
Well, I was very grateful to be considered.
Yeah. But I DM from the Load Shed, not my personal.
Oh, of course,
So
of
that's
course,
why
of
she
course.
replied.
Of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course, of course.
All right, so hit me, guys. I'll tell you this much. You're welcome to ask me anything.
Okay.
I will be as honest as I have the ability to.
All right.
If I don't know an answer, I'll say I don't know.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm here. You smash it.
With regards to everything else now, I see you into yoga, and that's a very big thing in your life right now. And I feel like you're doing that quite often. Can you talk us through what you're doing exactly right now?
Okay, well, have you guys ever tried, and I'm putting bunny ears, I know you can't see them, but yoga, have you tried it?
I have.
you?
Yes.
You're quite an athlete.
There was a place there next to Lucky Shakers.
Yes, Manifest.
Yes. I went
Still
there.
exists. It's in
there.
Lagoon now, yeah.
I went there with my team, my work team, and it broke me.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people make it.
absolutely broke
Yeah.
me. And then there's a stage where you like sit there and then
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah,
But
nothing
yeah.
wrong.
You have to
And-
get into like a Zen zone though.
The hardest thing about yoga is holding a fart though. I won't lie.
You don't have to hold it.
You gotta hold it because there's everybody around you, you're bending forward and then brap, you know. Yeah,
Sorry.
so I have tried it before. Yeah.
My second class ever teaching, I was in obviously the front, and some of the other girls that had done the teacher training with me were in the class. And you're super nervous when you first, because you're trying to remember
100%.
everything, and you have trying to remember cues for the bodies and the breathing and everything. And in the very front row, a woman queefed.
Oh.
Guys, I died.
What does that sound like?
It sounds just, it sounds
what's
like air
the
coming
queef?
out of a hole, but it's just not a hole that you can produce air of, because it's only a woman's
hectic.
hole.
And yeah,
And it was
one of
a lot
those.
to
Yeah,
deal
one of
with.
those.
And that's so like now, if someone farts, like normal farts, I'm like, nothing will ever break me like that.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever top that.
We
yeah.
have moves called wind removing pose where you pull your
Okay.
knee to your chest. Just like you
see.
would if you have a baby and you pull the knee to the chest, it
Yeah.
moves wind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happens. Wind is removed in class.
Please start with that when you guys are doing the yoga, though, so we feel
Comfortable.
comfortable.
But I actually do whenever I'm teaching, because at the moment I am teaching a lot
So
of
it's like
beginners.
everybody farting the whole time when you start like that.
No, not at all. But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know, you might not hear it all. So maybe
Yeah.
it happens every day. I just don't hear
Yeah.
it. But at the same time, if something moves, you know, we can't, it may be a giggle or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
And then you're done.
yeah.
But you've got to hold yourself because you can't really like laugh because now you're like leading the pack.
It's so, I won't. But at the same time, like, I feel like I've kind of moved past that. So I started teaching yoga. I did my yoga teacher training in 2015, 2014.
Yeah.
And I did it not because I wanted to teach yoga. I did it because I wanted to learn more about it for me. I'm going to pause the story there and just say yoga is not about doing a move, doing a headstand, sitting quietly, trying not to laugh. Yoga is a word that encompasses an idea of something that keeps you focused. So right now, you two are doing your podcast, and this is something you're passionate about. And right now, even if one of you are having issues at home with your partner or, you know, your animal's sick, right now, you're not thinking about it because this is your yoga.
100%.
This is something that keeps your mind clear.
Okay.
So I realized that the actual practice of yoga with the movements, etc., it did work for me. And I was quite chunky and I was noticing a very nice change in my body. And so my teacher training was for me.
So it comes with the benefits.
No, well, of course,
Yeah.
right?
So it gets you into shape as well, like yoga. Like
It burns calories like
Does
crazy, bro.
This
Well, I'm not trying
is
to
an
disrespect it, but
invitation
Yeah.
to come into a
we
class.
actually
We
spoke
are
about
coming.
We said we're gonna do like a little vlog where we
Yeah.
come to do yoga with
Yeah.
you.
Well, on a Thursday morning, I have a Bullies and Beginners class.
Okay.
There you go.
And in that class is literally like today, we stood up and we sat down from the floor 6 times because
Catholic Church.
how many people,
Catholic
yo,
Church.
but how many people do you know
Yeah.
get on the floor and they're like, oh, can you help me up?
Yeah.
Our bodies only do what we do with our bodies. So what I mean by that is our bodies are smart, man. Like they're going to stop using and wasting energy on movements they don't need. So if you're not sitting in a deep squat, why must your hip flexors be open?
Yeah.
Why should your legs be able to open like that? Your body's going, I'm smart. I don't want to use that energy. So when you move your body, you're just reminding it of what it wants to do. And I heard something once, it just like really, it said, your body is the only relationship you have your whole life.
Wow.
Wow.
So you can get married, you can have a twin. You cannot be assured that you come into and leave this earth at the same time as your best friend, your partner, your child, whatever. But you and your body, whole life.
Your body is your mode of transport.
It is.
Yes.
And I think that kind of started changing it for me. So yoga is, as much as it is something to calm myself, I really love teaching it because I do think that you learn so much by teaching. And I love imparting it to other people who can get up out of a class and just say, oh shit, I feel so much better.
Take us through the journey of radio. You started 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Like
So-
from the beginning there.
When you're in grade 11, you do a work experience,
Yeah.
you know? I did my work experience in 1998.
So you're a Derbs girl already.
Yes.
1998.
Why did you have to repeat that so
Sorry.
slowly?
Damn.
This is not how you get more women on the show.
But I mean, you don't even look like
No, you don't.
you were in grade
When-
11 in
when-
1998.
Like when you listen to Keri on the radio, you thought this girl's like 25, 26. Let me check her
Stop
Instagram out.
flirting.
When you see her, it's like 22.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
makes
damn,
sense.
is she
all right.
over 18? No.
And then are we in the right place?
So look, I'm proudly 41.
Wow.
And but I do bring my age down because I also quite openly did my boobs as a present to myself.
Oh, lovely.
So I say that the
I just
girls
said
bring my
lovely.
age down.
I just said lovely.
Thank you for the memories. So
Okay.
yeah, I do think that brings my age down, but also I'm child free. And I mean, if
Yeah.
you've ever met a woman who's had a child, it is crazy what your body goes through and the energy that having
100%.
children does. So I'm very proudly an aunt and very happily energy filled still because I am child free.
Wow.
But yes, so 1998 did my first voiceover. I was like, this is amazing. And I still really had everyone on this like super pedestal. Then when I was at university, very short version of a long story, a friend of mine got asked if she wanted to work at this new casino opening up called Suncoast.
Oh, hectic.
And now Suncoast needed to have MCs. This is still when you had a smoking section, a non-smoking section. I don't even know if they still do, but and the floor MC would literally be like, "Hi, welcome to Suncoast Casino Entertainment World. I'm standing here at this jackpot where it's currently sitting at blah 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 Suncoast. Expect to win." Okay. Well, as you can hear, I got the job.
Yeah.
And when you're at university, it was paying super well and it was like $200 an hour or something, and you did a 4-hour shift, so it was also a quick shift, and you got all the money for. At that point, I was drinking like Black Label Courts, proper Durban girl, go for like a Rotzi, Bunny, whatever. I was sorted. My rent was like $1,000.
Yes.
I was living my best life.
Making bag.
The one day, thank goodness, the main MC guy was sick, so he couldn't do the card draw. I was the only other person there. They're like, "Oh crap, got to use the girl." I did a card draw. At the card draw, congratulations, sir. They said, "Would you come and do the opening of Kensington Square, that center, that
opportunities.
Durban North."
Grab it.
So I went and did the Kensington Square welcome. There's also a Mr. Price opening. And there was a man named Dave Yap. And he came up to me and he said, "Have you ever thought about being on radio?" And I was like, "Only since forever." Wow. He invited me to Red Cap to do a voice test where they literally just give you some dry read. So dry read is an advert that has no music.
Yeah.
It's like, "Get 2 teas for just $6.99. Like that vibe.
They've got them.
Yeah, they do.
Only at Mr. Price. And
I need
did
those.
That, and then I and that was kind of how it started. And then I did Red Cap Radio where those guys trained us. And I will always go back to say thank you, because they reminded us, don't be different on air than you are off air.
Sure.
Because if you're like, "This is Keri Miller and you're listening too," and then you're off, then you're like, "How's it, guys?" It's weird.
It sounds like, you know,
Sorry,
when you send
audio,
somebody,
sorry.
when you send somebody a voice note, like when you send, you're like, "Hey, it's Josh here. It's so nice to see you today." And then you're going to feel like, "Hey, what kind, bro? I'm here, what?"
Exactly. And then what happens is you don't really connect with your audience because they can hear, guys. They're not silly. They can feel something's off.
Something's off. It's staged.
While this was happening, I also started doing the music circuit. So I did my very first Splashy Fen.
Wow.
My very first like live stage. And that was super exciting. And then I started doing the splashy stuff. And then from there kind of snowballed. And then there was a band at Splashy called the Rudimentals.
Okay.
I know them.
Okay.
I've heard of them,
I happened to MC for them, and they were doing their launch for their album, and they said, "If we fly you here, will you do like the launch for us?" And I was like, "What? Fly me to a gig? Oh my God, I've made it." Fast forward a little bit, they became super good friends of mine. I ended up moving to Cape Town. I'm moving into the band house. So I had this little room underneath their practice room, and obviously they're a ska band. So I'd hear this like above me at all times of the night.
No complaints.
No complaints.
Yeah.
I was on their computer whenever I could to try and get some random work. I was an extra on some like weird movies. That one, the rugby player one, I can't even remember now. We shot it in Cape Town at
Which one?
Invictus.
Invictus, where I played a rugby player's wife.
Wow.
And just the back of my head was shown.
Literally, you've played the role again now recently.
Actually, good call.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Death Race or something.
Oh,
There's, like
hectic.
some random like extra things just to make some cash. And then I got a stand and start job at KFM. And that was my very first on-air FM job.
What was that
And
like?
It was, first of all, the Rudies were playing a gig. So they said to me that I could come to the gig with them and then one of them would drive me to the station. Okay. So I'd gone to the Joel with them, but like obviously so nervous, and my show was at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I got taken there. I was shaking like a leaf, hands were sweaty, you know. Knees deep,
Arms are heavy, there's vomit on the sweater
But
already.
at 2 a.m. that's like a graveyard shift.
Of course, that's how you start.
That's how you
Yeah, so
start,
surely
yeah.
you're okay. You're like maybe 5 people are listening.
Yeah,
or-
but still, guys, it's
Yeah.
like FM and it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
And now you're at the station where like other people
Were your family
are,
like waiting at home at 2 a.m. to listen to you?
Actually,
That's one
pause
of
that.
those-
My dad has never not listened to a show.
Oh.
How's that? He used to
Shout
wake
out,
up when
Dad.
I was 1 to 3 a.m. He listened. 2 to 6 a.m. He listened.
Wow.
Luckily, I went into daytime pretty soon, but still my dad was
Yeah.
always there. So then KFM, eventually I made it to Drive, and Drive is 3 to 6. So the afternoon show is super nice, guys.
So
you can
nice.
sleep late. You can still live
Yeah.
your life. You can go out for a jewel. Amazing.
That's high volume now when people
Because
are
that's
listening.
traffic time.
So
eh?
that is what's considered your second flagship show. So you've got your 2 drives. And so why they
Breakfast.
call a drive is that's when most people are in the car.
Oh my
And
God.
so yeah, so the
Breakfast
morning drive
drive.
and the afternoon
My
drive.
whole life, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's where you can make your most money in advertising, because I can
Yes.
say to you, listen, guys, we've got all the school kids or we've got all the people going to work. So those are your flagship shows. And that's why it's so amazing if you can make it to Drive and breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I did Drive there. I went from KFM to Heart FM, which was literally next door, but a different house, like a different brand,
Okay.
kind of a competitor, you would say, but still. did drive 3-6 with a woman by the name of Sugar and a guy named Nick Feinberg, whose son actually just made the Springbok call-up, I think. Sasha.
Oh, wow.
Gomezulu Feinberg.
Whoa,
He plays
hectic.
for Province. Yeah, and Nick is like a super...
His name sounds so familiar.
Yes, I
Isn't
promise
he-
you'll see.
Isn't he like a coloured guy as well?
Yes.
Yeah. He plays for what's the team with the blue and white? Sorry,
Province.
Stormers.
Yeah.
Stormers. Yeah,
Western Province,
yeah. And
Western
his
Province.
brother was on
Yes,
the
Too Hot
Netflix
to Handle.
Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know Nathan. I mean, can you believe it? Like, so
Yeah.
anyway, so there
There
was
you go.
Nick, and
Yeah.
we were in the show together, and then I did my yoga teacher training,
Okay.
Okay.
and that gave me quite a bit of a uncomfortable conscience. Because on air, I was like, hey, go to this place and buy that burger. Hey, do this. I didn't mean anything I said. I was saying what I was told to say, right?
Yeah.
And then you go and you learn yoga or to teach it, and you say to someone, lift your right arm, and you physically see 30 people respond to your voice. And I was like, how many people have eaten shit because of me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people have bought something not inappropriate, but something they didn't need because of me?
Yeah.
And I took a break from radio then.
It's a serious
Because the influence is so big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And you don't realize.
Yeah.
And then only now also in my, like, not in my 20s, you know, as you get older and you realize that there's a kid that's been listening. And if you say, oh man, the new vape's amazing, they think vaping's okay.
It's fine.
If you say, oh, I can't wait to get my next tattoo, they think tattoos are okay.
Yeah.
So I started to realize.
You made me get my first tattoo. 'Cause you said,
I wish, because I know how good yours are. And then it was a combination of things. Me and an ex broke up. My dad had a heart attack. He's well now, but at the same time, I had this thing of Cape Town will always be there. My mom and dad won't.
Yeah.
So if I've got the opportunity to share space with them again, where I can just pop in and I can just go and give them a hug and say hi and I love you, and it's not just Christmas or Easter, then let me.
Yeah.
And so I moved back to Durban.
So who decides when you're moving? Or do you like apply? Is it like from weekend to breakfast?
is it like corporate?
Yeah, how does
So
it work?
you know, there is obviously the corporate breakdown. There's many things here. Do you make money? Like, are you someone that people respond to? Can we
Yeah.
make money with you? And I don't mean in a rude way, but even you guys know.
Yeah,
like if
that's-
this one does well, you can make some cash from this, right?
Yes.
Then there's also, what do you look like? And I don't mean are you pretty, but you can't have like only white people. You can't have only black. Well, you can have only black people if you're like a Zulu station or something. But if you're not, you have to have a mix
A range.
of women and men and color. I don't know if I told you guys at university, I did my honors in Zulu.
Okay.
hectic.
So like, yes, more something called the morphosyntax of it. So the grammar of it, I can break down the language beautifully. If I'm around people, gingakhuluma like Ndlele Maglisayo, but I still, I wouldn't say I'm fluent. I'm not going to sit and translate a full-on document.
Yeah.
But yes, gingakhuluma, you know.
Oh, wow.
So you're in it.
Ngizama ukufunda more and more. But I love it. I've even got a Zulu tattoo. Ulu ulimi lwethu sonke.
Wow.
Which is basically like music is the language of us all.
Okay.
Loosely
Wow.
translated.
Quickly, before let's shape it. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Because you were in the morning, the breakfast show, the morning drive. What's like the wake up time? What was your wake up time? What time are you setting your alarm for?
True,
First things
yeah.
first.
What was that like?
All right, so obviously as the novelty wears off, the beginning, you're like 4 a.m., you are a Disney character. You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I can show you the world. Good morning. Good morning.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Darren in the sky. I love this. And then a few months go on and you're like, I love this. And then another month goes on, you're like, is it leaflet?
Sleeping Beauty.
And so your 4 o'clock becomes 4:15, becomes 20:4, becomes 4:30, becomes 5:20, becomes, if I don't wear a bra or brush my teeth, I can get up at 5.
maybe.
And then, so by the end, I reckon I was probably waking up, I had to be at work 5:30, right?
Okay.
So, and I only needed one song to get to work. So that's how I knew my distance of anyway. So like how many songs to get to you. When you
Yeah.
live, 4 songs, cool.
Cool.
So I needed one song to get to work.
Are you vaccinated or?
I mean, okay. Does she tell the truth? Does she tell the truth?
Yeah, definitely. You've
Listen
got
to your
It's the load shed.
gut.
It's the load shed.
shedding the load.
You've got a
Yeah.
shed.
I got to just judge me so hard. Woo. Okay, so I genuinely prayed about it.
Yeah.
Meditated, prayed about it. I asked. I was like, please guide me here.
Good angle.
I am not an anti-vaxxer. If I had a child, my child would do the things that it has to happen because I understand that it's taken years and understand polio and measles and all the
Yeah,
things. I get
yeah.
that. This, for me, I was being told on the one hand, you got a 99% chance of being totally fine. You got a 98% chance of not even touching you. And even if you get sick, okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And the year before, when they came and did the flu vaccine at work, I was like, I'm cool, guys. Thanks, but no thanks. Like, I don't need it. So then this vaccine came out, and I ran away from it very hard. And then I got the call to say, I'm just letting you know that there are presenters in Australia who have been shown the door that are not getting the vaccine. And then I had to think quite long and hard about it. And they were pressuring a bit.
Sure.
So then I got the papers.
Sputnik. The papers.
She got the papers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I
she
get you.
got injected. Yeah.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then I made sure that I stayed up to date with my papers, and
You were fine. You were fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had no ill results.
So have you been seeing though, like the massive, like Bronny James, LeBron's son? He was at a basketball conference playing, and he had cardiac arrest, age 18, and they're linking it back to the vaccine.
Really?
So I'm also going to share this with you now, and whether it gets cut, I mean, I don't know, but this is also for real. My dad was in Cape Town. Now afterwards, mom and dad ran and got what they needed, because obviously they want to look after themselves, and that's what the government was telling us, was that this would keep us safe.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they've all tested it and they know everything, and the government knows better than we do, don't they?
Years of research.
So my mom and dad ran to get what they needed, and then they went to Cape Town. In Cape Town, at my uncle's birthday, my dad collapsed at a heart attack. Luckily, the hospital, Patriotism for somewhere around there. Anyway, great heart hospital. They went there, and this is oath on my life, guys. And I promise my mom and dad are not, they're like the good people. They paid their taxes, they paid their fines, they get their jabs. The doctor there said, we cannot write this down because we have been told not to. But this is a Johnson & Johnson's induced clot for the heart.
Wow.
Straight up.
Society effects.
I'm telling you, my mother told me this. Now, my mom was so on that side.
Yeah.
And I'm not I told you so, and I want my dad to be healthy, and I'll never tell him I told you so, because he was working from a good place. Everyone did. They did the right thing for themselves.
Sure.
Yes.
But my own father had that happen, and I saw the disappointment, because, but how? But why?
I've done
But
everything
how?
right. Everything that I've been
And
told.
it really broke me, because when I chose not to, my mom was like, but please, I love you so much. Please, please do this. And I was like, Mom, I need for you to let me trust myself. I promise you. And if I'm wrong, you can say at my funeral, she should have listened.
Yeah.
But what if I'm not, Mom? And then I did get COVID, and she was like, there it comes.
There it is.
Here it comes.
And you were fine.
I had no taste or smell for 2 days.
Yeah.
I went for like a run around my space in my house to try and just like find how are my lungs. I was fine. Did some breathing exercises. I was fine. I worked every day. Did not take one day off. However, the Monday that I'd gone to work, I obviously didn't know I had it.
Yeah.
Tuesday I found out. And then you have that feeling where your body says, and action. And I was like, here it comes. And I refused to get a test.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to will this away. And then eventually I had to go, and I went to, it was the first time I've been so masked up, and I did it all properly, because I really was like, I don't want to make someone else sick.
Yeah.
I went to Discam, and I did the test, and the lady was like, I know you from the radio. And she's like this, you're positive. Can we have a photo?
By the way.
It was so great. I was like, okay. And then she's like, okay, from now you must stay in for this many days. I said, but I've already been at home for a week. And she's like, no, it's this many from this. And I was like,
Yeah, it was like 21 days at the start, wasn't it? Like it was long.
That was the worst part, was the isolation.
Yeah.
It's not good for me.
It was hectic.
I got it. My wife was pregnant, so I had to do a test. That was the first time I ever did a test, and that was last year. 2022. I didn't want to do any tests because they were sticking shit up my nose.
Yeah.
So I didn't want any of that. And then they were like, listen, bro, you got a flu. Your wife's pregnant.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do this. So I was like, yes, okay, fine. And then they did it, and I phoned her right away. I said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
It was painful, man.
Yeah.
Up my
you did the nose
bloody
one.
nostril, bro.
Don't you think, though, considering this thing that's supposedly so hectic, you have to wear a mask because it's airborne, we should have been able to just go like this for testing?
Yeah.
Surely?
Yeah, for sure.
And they just do a little swab.
Like, we could have spat on something.
Exactly.
If it was like just walking past someone, you can get it.
That thing we used to go like down. It goes through your nose, and you like feel it in there.
No, it was horrific. It was like
hated it.
it's basically like the new waterboarding.
I did 12.
Whoa.
It's it's no competition. You feel very proud of that.
Yeah, and I did 12, and I
tests.
said to my girlfriend, I said, "Can you believe?" Because you get the notification on your phone like Discam. I did 12, and the thing is, because we also had to work, but like my job is like physically in public, like work in public.
Okay, you have
so
to
we had to do it all the time because we were with public and you're always in contact with different people. And we had a ton of people who'd be like, I don't want to wear a mask, you know, like, and I want to get in. And then every day you like go home and the next morning you wake up. You know, you guys have had that.
You're throwing
where you're like, yo,
yeah.
it's got me.
You're
It's
like,
got
this is the
got
end.
me. Yeah. You know what I mean? You've got it. You go to discount quickly. You're wearing like 6 masks. You tell the lady like, yo, I want to do a test. You sit on the chair and then she's like, don't worry, this is not going to hurt. And then this thing's deep down. I've got videos of it, and yeah, for sure. Content, and then eventually, like the 12th one, I'll show you guys a picture. It was like negative, positive.
Oh my word!
What was it? Did you say like SARS? What did it say? Like,
SARS-CoV.
SARS-CoV. Yeah.
So
and
someone told me before, and again, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but we won't talk for COVID for long. But someone just before it started, they said, you know, we're moving into the AI age.
Mm-hmm.
So we are moving into it and it's happening rapidly. It's like the technological information, something moving, but we need to do it undercover. So they're trying to slip us into the AI age really undercover. So like COVIDly, right? And they're like, and how, if you want to write AI on your phone, what numbers do you write? And I was like, 19. It's like, it's COVID-19, bro. It's moving into the AI because they forced everyone to stay at home. They taught everyone how to go online. They taught us all how to, and I was like, that's bullshit. And now, as I stand right now, I'm like,
you're like, wait a minute.
Man-made, we did it. For sure.
Now it's starting to feel almost as though like everybody who was an anti-vaxxer was right.
Is it?
Like, I just feel like, I went with Moe. We went in, we got our jab. Mo was like, he wants the one that was once off, the Johnson one. And I was like, no, I'm scared. You know what I mean? Like, I want to just do Pfizer because I want to have one and then have some time off. And people were like, some of my mates, because I posted on my Instagram, it was a thing, you know, like, just got the vaccine, you know, because now it was like age 22 to 20. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. And I got it. And then I was fine the next day. Just my arm was like hella sore. And then I felt a bit sick and my friend's like, yo, dude, why did you do it? So I was like, yo, bro. And then I started having this whole argument with a mate of mine. I remember clearly like on Instagram, like he was like, why did you do it? And I literally DM'd him today because he put up a post about this Bronny James thing. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. And he was like, yeah, I told you. Because it's making sense now. Like people are like, I know people like him who had like, he didn't have COVID at all. Not even once. He didn't vaccinate. Not once. And he was fine. And he said it's exactly that. He's like, the body was made to overcome anything. You know, he's one of those guys.
Can I close this just by saying something though?
Close it. Yeah.
With conspiracy theories or theories in a home, Michelle was telling me this sports massage lady. She's
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Will change your life.
So she gave me a hypothetical. She said, all right, cool. The scientists develop a medicine and they test 100 people, right? And with 100 people that they give the medicine to, 60 people are fine and 40 people get sick, right? And she said, if you're part of the 40 people that get sick, you're going to strongly believe that you're against the medicine and so you're against that theory of what it does. And as an individual, you might be looking at that 40 and you'll be on that side of that 40%. But on the 60%, and the majority is better, right? Let's just say. So what if in this case, this is what we're doing? There's 40% that didn't work, but that story is blown up more than the 60% that actually
negative.
Possibly, but I still think 4 out of 10 is not okay. If you've got 10 kids and 4 of them die, it's not okay.
Agreed.
I don't think that then anyway, but it's not. It's like a whole nother.
Agreed. But I'm just saying that's what happens. Obviously, in a larger scale, like look, 10,000 people, 400 people. You know, succumb, and then that's the bigger news than the 9/6 that survived. Anyway,
but the world's like full of conspiracies and theories and. Like, I don't know if you guys have been seeing, like, on news today, Congress in America have had a case going on. Have you seen that?
Aliens.
I have not put on news since February.
They've literally come, like, the guy went under oath this morning, and he said there was a aircraft. Dane, what were they calling it? They're no more calling it UFO. What are they calling it?
Oh, yeah,
UAF.
Meaning what?
Unemployment fund. No,
I was just going to say, that sounds like a political party.
Unidentified
aircraft force or something like that.
Isn't it a UAV?
UFA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Google it.
literally, there was a crash in America. Like everything happens in America.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
And
love how it always
The
happens
guy,
there.
They're looking for Will
everything.
Smith.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. And
Yo.
the guy says, so there was a big crash and it's obviously an unidentified aircraft. And the judge now says, okay, you're under oath. Who was in the aircraft? Biologically, what was it humans? UAP.
Which is meaning what?
Unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Wow.
Phenomenon.
Americans
That's
love
the
drama,
key.
but why are you putting phenomenon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy under oath says, listen, we had the pilots. And the lady says, okay, do you have their bodies? And he says, yes. And she says, okay, were they humans or not humans? This is under oath. This was on TV. And he was like, they're not humans.
What are they?
What do you think they
Oh,
are?
that's interesting.
They're not colored people. Like me, like I'm an alien. I'm an alien for sure. But I mean, the world isn't always what we think it is. And I feel like a lot of things are hidden.
You know, we're
But-
just so ridiculous to think if an entire universe bigger than we can comprehend exists,
Yeah.
and that
We're
this
the
is the
only
top of the
people.
food chain.
Yeah.
That is selfish, arrogant.
I think
you know.
I think there's definitely like it's scarier to think that there's no life out there than there is
Yeah.
life out there. Because like how lonely are we on this earth then?
I know this much. If we think about it, it's going to make us feel super uncomfortable and overwhelmed because we won't know until the day we cross over. So I'm almost like, let it be. Think what makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
If you like to think that when you go to sleep, there's like an ET watching over you, makes you feel cool, go with that.
Go
if you
with
want to
it,
think
yeah.
there's nothing else, go with it. Because when we do cross, I feel like
Yeah.
we get all the information.
Yeah.
100%.
And so then we'll know. So up until that point, it's like a kid sitting watching its Christmas present going, is it a bike? Is
Yeah.
it a car? Is it a book? What is it? What is it? You're not going to know until you open it.
Yeah, for
so I'm
sure.
just like,
And it's-
enjoy
it is what
this
it is.
life while we're here.
It's so cool, yeah.
Like the Simpsons are always big onto this stuff. Eh? Have you seen all the Simpsons? Everything the Simpsons say happens.
I know.
Is that coincidence or is that just...
And then, the creator of The Simpsons is also actually running government.
No, for sure. No, he's definitely in the
You
White
see what I
House.
mean? And he's-
Definitely. Like he did the Trump thing. He did the submersible. He's done everything.
He's done a lot, yeah.
He's done anything for South Africa.
It's almost like, no.
He hasn't.
It's almost like we're living in his
No
world.
news is good news.
Yeah,
check
it is.
that.
Jeez.
It's like he's writing the script for everything that happens.
Flipping hell, man.
I don't know if you've heard that Japanese, it's a Japanese word. It's a whole phrase though, but it's a word
Ikigai.
called ikigai.
Ikigai.
Ikigai, yeah.
yeah.
And for those who don't know, the gist of it is it's a Venn diagram. And the four circles that come together in the middle is the ikigai. The four circles are, what are you good at? What can you make money doing? What does the world need? And what do you love doing? Because you can be good at something, not love doing it.
So Gareth Cliff, though,
Yeah.
he went off.
He got
to
fired.
Cliff
He got
Central.
fired, didn't he?
Yeah,
From 5FM? Was it 5FM?
I think Gareth is amazing. I
fun
think he was
thing,
one
yeah.
of the best presenters we've ever had. And I think what he did was super brave and
Yeah.
amazing. And unfortunately, I think that we weren't ready maybe for internet radio yet, only because we still care about our data. Hey?
Yeah, for
If
sure.
I still know, even Gigi, okay, so my boyfriend, he still has his data off and we'll go somewhere, he puts the Wi-Fi on and then he'll download the things. Not for any other reason than
It's
he's still like
expensive.
he's still like in a data thing. A lot of my friends, when I'm on Wi-Fi, I'll send you this.
Yeah.
So I do think a little bit that we are still in a space because remember that the last people to get Wi-Fi get the best Wi-Fi. So you go up North Africa a little bit, you're going to be in Ethiopia and have the sickest fiber. But because we were South Africa and we got it so early, our Wi-Fi is still quite shit.
Yeah.
So I honestly, like if Gareth approached me and said, you want to do something,
For sure.
I guess I would.
He
I would
helped
like-
us with the name of the show.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I think he's amazing.
Cool guy.
And as a presenter, I always thought he was phenomenal. And because he got something that it's just not interesting to me, as in he's so good with the politics. And I'm just so switched off with that stuff. And I do think that to be a presenter in that space, you have to be on the money with that kind of stuff. And unfortunately for me, I would be faking it.
Yeah.
I don't care about politics. Oh my gosh. I remember you saying to Sky, he would try and give me like the okay, it's a terrible word, like the Ispugu Pugu version.
Yeah, this
Okay,
Pugu
I know,
version.
it's a terrible word, but like, just like okay, so listen, this is our minister of this, and he did this to this person. Now, when they went there, that happened, and that's why Julius
Yeah.
is mad.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, but who's this guy again? Oh, I'm so confused. And
Like
I'll
our
tell you
Jackson
straight up,
and Tim.
I don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone. There's one chick named Nicole someone, she's from the DA, and she's in the Mhlanga area. And when the
Yeah.
shit was going down, I remember she was posting updates, so I knew which roads were closed,
Yeah.
and when the water was going to be off. Outside of her posts, I want nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't. ANC, IFP, EFF, DA, y'all want the same thing. It's just to beat the other person.
Yeah.
No one wants what's best for me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
So politics can keep it. It's not for me. But I think to be like current like that, like how Gareth is, you have to be on the money with that kind of stuff.
But surely his show can do with another element to it completely.
The bit of military.
Yeah, because you don't listen to, like, I wouldn't listen to something for politics. No disrespect to someone who does it, but it doesn't appeal to me, and surely there's other people that doesn't appeal to. So sometimes it shows you've got to broaden the umbrella.
I mean, politics will only be trending now because it's getting into 2024 elections, and we were talking to Pengel in the previous episode. He asked us who we voting for. We said we don't flipping know.
We don't know politics.
We have no idea.
You just know. And he said to me, because I was like, I know this. And he's like, so you know the leaders only. You don't really know the club.
Shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I heard IFP's doing hoodies this year.
Do you know
Get a free pin.
Do you know what's the wildest thing that ever happened to me is, you know when you like go to the ANC stands, they have like the yellow t-shirts?
Yeah.
And at the time, Zuma was in power.
Yeah.
And I lived at Joburg. It was like 2016. And I used to gym at Rosebank, Virgin Active.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, like I don't have t-shirts for gym, so let me just put one of those on, right? You know, I just moved to Joburg at the time, so I thought like, calm, like I'm wearing an ANC top at Rosebank Virgin Active. The Jewish moms, they're just doing one of these to me. I think this guy's not fine. Yeah, like exactly. It was one of those. You know, those ones you come with Louis Vuitton bags as well. That gym. It was the weirdest thing ever, and I was like, "Why are these people looking?"
Oh, you're like, "Oh, this Zuma's face."
So after that, I was like, "Yo, I need to know a bit about politics, but I don't want to know enough about it."
Yeah.
That's one of the. So I just wrote it off completely after that. But it's exactly what Pino was saying. He was saying to us like, how many of you can actually like resonate with the party? Like what stands out to you as a South African? Like I would put you in our category. We're all millennials, right? No, you're a millennial with us. You're on the same vibe. But I'm saying, what party in our country do you actually think of and you're like, I kind of rate this party. Like they're going to change the country.
So I've thought about this, and I don't want to take us on a tangent. So just tell me if you want me to stop. But I've thought about it almost like as if South Africa was a high school.
Yeah.
And if we look at our different areas, like we do the houses, remember the house, the greenhouse, yellow house, whatever else, right? Mm-hmm. Because if in essence, let's say you are living section A, section B, section C, and we know that every 3 months, someone's going to come through and check out section A. And if section A has been kept up, everything, these guys are going to be getting this KIF gym update. They're getting this happening. They're getting a sick paddle court, and they're going to have this put in. They come to your section and it's looking not so great. So they say, fine, we're taking out this. That thing we put in, we're gonna take it off until you guys are right. Because what happens then if you keep literally your own doorstep clean? Yeah. Then it becomes a thing of actually exactly like that show we mentioned, I think it was off air, Too Hot to Handle.
Yes.
So everyone wants a piece of the pie. Yeah. So they start looking after themselves and their own. Like they must say, why did you do that? You've just lost us $5,000. Boom. Why did you do that? Because at the moment, we're just like this. But it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their fault. I'm not taking responsibility. Why must I do that? True. It's this person. DA, IFP, ANC. We all wash our hands of it. Because now this one little black dot on my thumb means now I've said my say. I think that's where we've gone wrong. Yeah. Like if we gave the power back a little bit, and also the people at the top, guys, take off the top. Take off the cream. Take the cream. If I can take some extra money, I know you're going to anyway. But can you do me a favor and at least get the job done also?
Yes.
Like I know that this job can be done for $1 million. You're going to give someone a tender of 9. You're going to keep 8 of it. But how about you get the job done? Yeah. Keep 100%. Your 8. And I'm not even going to stress. Keep the 8. If I can pay my 8. Yeah. Just like do the job.
100%.
A little bit of the job. That'd be nice.
That's all we need. We're not going to complain.
Just the tip.
Service delivery.
Just the tip. You're right.
Parliament. That's a common one.
Parliament is like, it is like high school, man. I always look at it and I see these funny Parliament videos and Oaks was saying, chairperson, this person said this.
I know.
And then the other guy
called me stupid.
He needs to withdraw that, chairperson. And then the other says,
I'm not taking it out.
He called me that, he must withdraw that. And you're like, Jesus, it's just
Honorable member, shut up.
This is just like high school. The teacher then, no, ma'am, he started it first, ma'am. You know,
Imagine we could give them detention.
Exactly. And then the
You're going to
EFF.
Zimbabwe.
You remember when the EFF walks in, bro, and they just like wearing their hats and they're like, he must leave. He must leave.
you know, and
But also,
and they
guys,
start-
as you're talking, it's just making me love this country more, man.
This country is the
country where our
best.
politics, they fight where you can buy a paper for a
100%.
vaccine, where you can just park wherever you want.
You can make a
where it's
plan.
like, it's see?
And in
It's
South
deep.
Africa as well, like a common thing is like if somebody's shouting at you, you just mize. You're just like, I can't hear them. I'm just gonna carry
Yeah.
on. And then they just get vexed. Especially the white aunties. Like let's not like, you know when you're in traffic and the white aunties are hooting at you and you're just like, you just jam, you ignore, and she's like, get out the way.
That is the best way.
It's the best.
Coming from an external and internal
Yeah.
Caucasian.
It's so nice.
That is, and let me tell you, the man, I'm sure you'll get to the man in a second, but he knows if he wants to rash me,
Yeah.
the passive aggressive route is the best.
Oh.
This, he goes like this. I will throw a glass.
People in South Africa honestly feel like giving a gap to you is like giving a kidney. Like it's deep. It's so deep. Like
That's
you don't
what's
say
called
thank
giving
you.
a gap because we gag.
Yeah,
I would rather puke in my mouth than make my car slow down.
I'm like, boo, I just want to get a space in front of you. They're like, nah.
I have already let all the youth in front of me. I've already let the ANC,
Exactly.
the IFF, the DP, the EAF, the AGs.
It's so bad when you're coming into something like right now on the way. You know
Yeah.
the traffic in the afternoon gets quite heavy. In the voice notes I sent you, I'm like, yo, Durban's
what do you mean
chaos.
quite heavy?
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
always
It's
joking?
bad.
Always,
It's so
man.
bad.
Always.
And like, you know who's really bad in traffic? Like the worst race. I'm not trying to lie.
Taxis.
No,
No.
taxis are cool, bro.
So taxis actually know how to drive. They drive erratically, but they drive
You know,
wildly erratically.
just
if
get
a
the
taxi
right of way.
gets a gap, you're like, oh, I can get a gap in front of him. He's gonna give it to me. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
may I ask, is it? I'm not going to
Yeah.
say, but unfortunately, females have not done us any favors.
Yeah,
but I've
yeah.
found an exact proportion between bad driving and how close your car seat is to the steering wheel.
Yeah,
If
facts.
your steering wheel is this close to, I want to be past you so quickly because this is not okay.
No.
Yeah.
But what about
or
leaning back?
exactly, or if it's like super back. Both
Like
of
the
them.
Indian boys, they're here.
Too close or too far.
Indian and color boys are here.
You don't even
They're
need
here.
back seats.
You can't even see them in the window, bro. They're like one of these, like, how's it, bro? You're like, yo, is somebody peeping from their window? But the worst for me, I'm not gonna, like, have you ever asked an Afrikaans uncle for a gap in
No,
traffic?
you can't, bro.
You can't.
You don't.
Because
You can't.
he's in the Hilux.
Yeah.
He's here. He's this high.
And be like, try me.
He's like, try me. I got a bull bar for this
Yeah.
boy. You know what I mean? You will never get a gap. It's like group areas gap. You're not allowed here. Get out. Get out. I've never ever, and the van's always dirty too. You can't get in. He's from the farm.
I
Last man.
can't say anything there.
I was just about to ask you,
My
speaking
Afrikaans
about...
phone with the Toyota.
Just I'll say.
No, he's obsessed.
We love them though.
Guys,
Yeah.
we actually went to a wedding, me and him, and
Your
like,
Afrikaans or your...
yeah, no, my
yeah.
plus one, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's my Afrikaans man, and now you must understand. I think, and I don't care who else, but I'm sure most people think so too. He's fucking gorgeous, right?
Yeah, he looks like
Yeah,
Aquaman.
I've seen him.
Yeah.
I saw him. I'm like,
Like,
He's
on a scale of 1 to
unnecessary.
10, I'd give him 1.
He's
You know what I'm saying?
unnecessary.
He's
Yeah,
unnecessarily hot,
unnecessary,
yeah.
bro.
And so we go to this wedding, and I mean, I'm doing my best, but it's someone he's played rugby with overseas or something, and it's
Yeah.
all like everyone is dulled to the maximum.
Yeah,
It's like I
it's
feel like
intense.
it's Victoria's Secret has
Yeah.
allowed the models out for a day.
My,
Yeah.
my.
So we get out the car, and I mean, I did look beautiful. I even show you a picture. I do think I look beautiful, but still, there's a part of me. I mean, you know, newly unemployed, the whole thing. 10 years older than him, also.
you older.
And I was like, oh, next time I am getting out the car, he's not looking in my direction, just so you know.
Okay.
And he goes like this. Ooh. I think I will ignore this. Motherfucker. And then he goes, sure. And I'm like, who the fuck is he looking at? I look around and I see this girl walking, but his eyes are not at her.
Yeah.
Is it not a new Hilux?
That's the most Afrikaans guy thing in the world.
He is obsessed with Toyota. Obsessed.
That's an ad. That's an ad.
That's
right
a
there.
commercial.
I know. I am so.
That's a commercial.
I was both like relieved, and then I was like, "But would I rather it have been the girl? Because now I'm like, I'm jealous of an exhaust now." But
My
he literally-
suspension's just as good.
No, he doubled.
Look at this.
And then he was. You know that feeling in your tummy, like your feet
Like
drops,
who's he
say,
looking
like,
at?
oh my
Yeah.
god, now we can't stay at this wedding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill a bitch.
I'm upset.
Meanwhile, it's a flipping highlights.
And he was just eyeing this thing out. But I mean, obviously, I thought it was so sweet. But now I even said, I was like, if I hear you say, "Oh, you're beautiful," if there's a Toyota around, I won't even turn around.
Wow.
None of
Yeah.
them directed at me.
Wow. Are we playing Springboks anytime soon?
Are we getting
What do you
there?
think?
Are you going to be a rugby player's wife
Are we
at the
gonna
Springboks
be
game?
there?
So, I mean, look, I'm not in the selection team, obviously. And as the woman who loves him very much, the thought of him having to be away so much is hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting because I have never really been a super sporty, like a sports fan even, really.
Yeah.
So rugby was something like when I was in high school, I'd go and watch because my parents had box tickets and then we'd go into the scholars section. And it was just kind of a bit of a jol, you know, have a chow,
Yeah.
play around, go home with the parents. And then when I met him, which by the way was at a work dinner
Okay.
that we got invited to because we had the same insurance sponsorship, right? Like these ECIA guys, they do a bunch of the Sharks players and us. And I said to Sky, no, bro, I can't actually just do a dinner. I had yoga that night. And he said, no, come in, Miller. I'm going to go. You must come. It's like really close to the studio. You can walk there. I was like, you know, he's right. And these insurance guys have done a lot for us. And I mustn't be like that. So I went. Do you think Sky arrived?
No.
No, this Sky did not arrive. Anyway, it's fine. So Sky didn't arrive. Neither did Darren. But I didn't think Darren was going to go anyway. There's 22 people at this table.
Yeah.
One other woman beside me. And it was this girl, Sam, who's now married to LaRue or engaged to LaRue Roots, right? Drickus Duplessis, the fighter.
The MMA guy.
Oh,
He's
there.
sitting here next to me, his mate, some
had,
other
like,
one.
Prime
and then,
Afrikaans boys.
And then just other Sharks players. Now, I don't know most of them.
Yeah.
So I turn on East Coast Keri. And what I mean by East Coast Keri is you smile and wave, you ask some questions, you realize that you're going to be working together.
Yeah.
Be nice, because if they're coming for an interview, you must remember this, even though they're a rugby player, they're also nervous and they're a sportsman, guys. They're not a media personality. So let them feel comfortable so that when they do come in, they don't feel like you're going to flirt with them. You're not going to make fun of them. You're like,
Yeah.
so I was sitting and cool, how's it, Josh? How are you? Cool. And what do you play? Which position? Lovely. Excellent. Cool. And then he would then talk to someone else and then I would go, hello, what do you fight for a living? Lovely. Cool. Excellent.
Nice.
Nose seems fine.
Yeah. And then move. And then when the food arrived, I was at that side of the table and I was sitting opposite this guy who had just come from France. And his name, I couldn't pronounce. Gerbrand Grobler. And I was like, he's like, we can call me Gigi. So I was like, okay, Gigi. And then like chatting a little bit. If he tells the story, he's like, she literally made her move down the table. So she was opposite me. No love.
Timed it.
It happened like that. And actually at first, I think they put Pepsi's food down, Pepsi Buthelezi. And it was like pup and like pup and wors or whatever. And Gigi's like, yes, but this girl can eat. And I was like, that's not my food, actually. Okay.
Excuse me.
Anyways, then when my pup and wors arrived, I started eating it. We started chatting. End of the night, I've stayed longer than I should have known. I've got a 4 o'clock wake up. It's like 10 o'clock by the time I leave. And that's when we get up to hug. And then I see him stand up.
And you're like,
And I didn't. And this is the cool thing. I didn't comment on his height.
Oh, nice.
Which now I realize is such a big deal because, and please, if you're listening, if you see someone that's super tall or super short, don't comment. It's so weird and
Please,
inappropriate.
you just don't comment.
She just called us
I
short
did not.
shits.
You
in
did.
all of it.
I
She
lied.
called us short shits.
Don't comment if you see someone short. I don't know which camera on you.
No, but this
Don't
is
comment.
it. Yeah, don't do it, man.
Yes, short king.
The amount of times people are like, whoa, you tall. And he's
Empire
like,
State
yep, I realized. Anyway, so
So you probably
Gave
saw
him a
his
hug.
navel and you were like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, hugged his upper thigh and
never
then left. And then, as you do, you Wikipedia someone just to see.
the
And
height.
I just saw born February 6th, 1992. I was
So you were
like,
like, oh.
very
Wow.
young.
Yeah.
Very young.
I like it.
Yeah. No.
Oh, you
No.
But you never dated younger guys
Yes,
before?
I love younger guys. However, 10 is a lot.
Okay,
And then I was also,
Yeah.
obviously now I don't think so. But, and also, to be fair, everyone's like, don't touch a sportsman, guys. Don't touch a sportsman. So I'm telling this whole story. I'm going to land this plane now. So this is how I got to know him. And this is how we met. And then you know rugby from an external perspective where you are sitting there, you're having your wine or your beer and you're eating and then you expect afterwards all the guys go for a jaw and everything. And when I started dating him, you don't realize what these people put their bodies through. It's like Hunger Games. So you are sitting with your beer and your biltong or your whatever you're eating and you're having your jol and you look really nice and you're watching guys run into each other. So like the force is like driving without a seatbelt into a wall at 40 k's an hour. This is what these guys are putting themselves through. They are hurting themselves. You see them hurt, they get carried off. Now carried off means you're maybe going to get a full up. That means you have to be out and then you're in like rehab and you can't work and then it's horrific. And then you get this.
He played well, eh?
Yeah,
Played well.
Everyone's got their opinions on the side.
Oh, the Facebook coaches.
Like, and Gigi, like he works hard, man. He plays hard. When they go to work, they work. They're 8 hours. They're training. They're running. They're gymming. I look at these boys, man, in such a different light. He comes off the field. He's got full goosebumps. His body goes into like a shock. Have you ever been in a fight as a guy? Like you've been to a bar and you've been in a fight. That feeling?
Yeah.
Every weekend. So when you say Springboks, I'm telling you now, that man is so good. He's not only deserving of Springboks, he'd be fucking amazing as a Springbok. But do I want him to have to put his body through that? As someone who loves him so much, and because obviously of my yogic beliefs and what I think our bodies are capable of, I don't want any boy to have to run into any boy like that.
So you almost get like nervous when he's playing?
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why, because it's his choice.
Yeah.
So I support him, and for every time he gets up and he gets strapped up, I support him. When he went away and broken this, broken that, I'm there, hospital, help, drive, do, help. It's his choice. No one's forcing him.
But for these rugby players, that's their ikigai, man. Playing for the Springboks. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like a desire
of
of his
course,
as well.
guys,
Like
to
he wants to
represent
be
your
there.
country.
It's the main stage.
And especially because recently the Sharks have been like a Springbok camp, if you think about it.
They've
had so many Springboks there.
Yeah.
And when you're playing with people like that and you can see that you are of the same level,
Caliber.
and then all of a sudden you get split again, I do feel like for all the guys that are not chosen, because I mean like this, you can only have 15 plus your extras. For everyone that's not chosen. But I think that he's on his own path. And I know that if he was chosen, he would be so proud, as every man is, to wear those colors. But I also know that if he isn't, he's not going to feel, he's not a bitter man.
Yeah.
I've never heard him say, fuck these guys. Or, no. He is so supportive. Like him and like I see him what he's like with Eben or even with Seo when Seo was around. Like all of the guys, man, look on all of them. You know, when you go into afterwards and you see like the girls and the kids and these guys in the form of dad or partner, it's like seeing them in a different light, man.
Different character.
Gentle giants.
They're beautiful
Gentle
people,
giants.
and they're just like, it's a hard game. It's a hard game, and I actually said the other day because we were watching, we'd gone away, and it was the Springbok New Zealand game.
Yes.
That just happened. So Gigi's watching with a friend, and the other people there. It's interesting because Gigi, he watches and he doesn't get like super, like he doesn't shout at the TV. You know, and he also calls things before it happens. That guy's going to pass there. That guy's going to.
Yeah.
And other people are like going. And all of a sudden I had this feeling. I said, my God, I wish South Africans cared about our country 10% as much as they care about rugby.
Wow.
You know, you
That's
can
big.
say that again.
I wish.
Because of the way it
South
brings
Africans.
everyone together.
So together.
Imagine everyone got together and said, wow, they're potholes.
Yo.
Come on, fix the potholes. But it's like this, that was a try.
Yeah.
That was a try. And
Yeah,
it's-
true.
And I love that people can be so passionate about that, but I just wish we could direct our passion. And not that I'm taking away from the sports. And I know that sometimes I joke with them and I say, oh, my love, you are a ball waitress. You know, you're a ball carrier. Just like I was a voice ranger. I was obviously a joke. He's so good at his game. I do wish that we could have some of that passion just for like
Anything.
our ocean, our
I
roads,
agree.
our people, our schools, our women, our men, our old people, our animals.
You know what it's going to take? It's going to take supporting those leaders that actually represent us in the way we want them to represent us, like the Springboks do.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. So the way they play with heart, desires.
And the diversity, bro.
If our leaders could do the same, I think we'd also have their backs like we do with the Springboks. I'm just assuming.
We need a beast and a Ibn and a Cheslin Kobe to run the country.
Imagine a beast as a president. Oh, that'd be so lovely.
He'd be nice.
Yes,
He'd
it's
scare us.
so
He's
big,
like,
man.
if you don't do that, I'm coming for you.
Or even like him a pimpy, because we have like a super hot president. I mean, obviously I think my guys are hottest.
Yeah.
But like him a pimpy is
Yeah, it was his birthday.
And he's fit,
just
eh?
the other day. Yeah,
He's very
yeah,
fit.
Yeah. No, he's
His story was so sad. Remember in the World Cup? About
the Eastern
number?
Cape story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flip.
Hectic, dude. And it just goes to show, like, in South Africa, it doesn't matter where you really come from.
That's the spirit.
You can get onto the highest of stages.
Grassroots
and
to
that's what
greatness,
Yeah, that's what I love about our country. Like the opportunity is so much better than anywhere else in the world. And even if you do travel, like wherever you are in the world, when you get back to our Tambo,
best, eh?
and they're like, next customer, you're like, hey, okay, let me get my passport ready. You're like, hello. She's like, welcome. You're like, oh, it's so nice to see you. I miss this place.
Motherland, kiss the ground.
Yeah, and then when you go to other countries, it's so... You know?
I went to Germany to visit my brother. My brother's a citizen there now, and he was taken over there. He's a great architect. And the cool thing is he was doing projects here to use, he wants to use specifically planning for the rural areas so that you could use your own waste products into gardening and all that, right? And then, a German company picked it up and hopefully to bring all of that back here. Short version, long story. I go to Germany to visit him. He's just finished his master's, and I'm like a normal South African girl, a bit chatty and smiley, and we guys are on the tube. They call it the tube there, whatever their train or. And so we're on this thing, and my brother's standing there, and he's doing this, whatever he's doing, and like, so you guys are on the tube. I'm like,
Yeah.
and they asked my brother if I was special needs.
Oh my word.
Because I was
Because you're so friendly.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, Germany is not my place.
Because they're like cold.
obviously.
They were like,
No, it's not that they're cold. It's just like, but why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Don't.
Just say
Like this, but why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Are we friends?
What?
I do not know you.
Wow.
You are strange white woman.
Good morning, hello, guys.
Not hello, alles gut, no.
Sharp,
Not
sharp.
friend, no.
Yeah.
So you get back to Durban, you're like, see, I'm okay, like.
Yeah. And the moment you do that, everybody's feeling it. Like, you know what I mean?
Everybody's there.
This place has a vibe. I'm telling you everything. There's an energy here that you cannot deny.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that we fuck it up. I'm sorry that we do. But can I tell you this much? This place will survive longer than we do. Everyone's like, guys, we're going to destroy. We are not going to destroy this earth. This earth will destroy us first.
100%.
We can pretend, we can try, but I promise you, the equilibrium, if it's out of balance, it will throw us off much quicker.
Yeah.
We will die off.
100%.
So yes, I feel sad for it, but everyone's like, guys, they're poor nothing, poor us.
Yeah.
We're not trying to fix the planet so that the trees and the elephants, okay, they are like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's us. We're the ones that are going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flip.
So I like asking this question to all the guests, and it's basically.
Am I allowed to ask for a refill?
Yeah,
for sure.
Of course.
Okay, no,
Gasol!
Dane's a part-time barman.
Another apple juice,
Part-time
please.
barman. Liquid fruit, eh? Yeah. Please.
Sugar-free LQ.
You know what? That actually reminds me of this thing. So I'm in the car with my girlfriend once, and we go to McDonald's.
One time only been in the car.
No, I mean like the McDonald's trip because my girlfriend's like vegan.
Good girl.
You know? So I'm like, cool, we're going to go to McDonald's. Yeah, it's a hectic thing. I'm not going to lie.
Don't like meat,
firstly,
or like the bone.
Yeah, so firstly, you're brown and now we're vegan. You know what I mean? Like, it's very contrasting. It's not like stuff you eat. But obviously, she lived in Cape Town and there's much more there than there is here vegan-wise.
McDonald's. Hi, do you guys have hummus?
Yeah.
Hummus.
Avo. So now we get to McDonald's and I'm like, yo, okay, can I have 10 nuggets, jalapeno sauce, chili cheese fries? Then he's like, cool, and can I get a Coke Zero? And my girlfriend's like, why? Why? What's the need? You know what I mean? That always happens, and I do it all the time because I feel like, I'm unhealthy, but I'm trying to be a bit healthy. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
balance.
Get a Coke Zero.
If it makes you feel any better, aspartame, which is the stuff, or aspartame, I don't know if people say it, it's just been classified as a carcinogen. So it's actually, go back to God's gift, which is sugar.
Yeah.
Like God gave us
Rather have
sugar.
it. Yeah.
I don't know what scientists gave us all the other stuff, but
COVID.
But this is it. Everyone's trying to be so good and say, I'm going to do my gin and like the no sugar tonic, and you're like, but what else is in that? It activates in your body. I don't go down the street. I'm sorry, but it does activate in your body.
That's something.
The more than the sugar does, so it actually is turning. It's a whole thing.
So are you vegetarian or vegan, or what's your way of eating?
So I tried vegetarianism for a while.
Yeah.
When I started yoga, because I got into the yoga train and I was like, there must be. Then I got like, I was always having, I was to be open with you boys, like tummy issues. I'd have like super upset stomach at the most inopportune times. Like, most people like, you wake up, you go to the loo and you got your times.
Not period pains though.
Not period pains, no, like and random. Like right now, all of a sudden, I need to like go to the toilet, like desperately. And it was starting to really affect my life. And so then I went into testing and I found out anyway, super lactose intolerant. Like before it was trendy and gluten, when I didn't know what the fuck gluten was. And then someone explained to me how actually these two wheats had been crossed to try and solve world hunger, actually. And so what had happened is these 2 wheat plants,
Down
they
the
grew twice as fast in half the time. And well, thank you guys.
No problem.
Down the line.
Thank you. And anyway, so we made a wheat plant that could get way more wheat out. So it was really, really cool, actually.
Oh.
But what happened in this co-producing of the wheat that now could feed more people, is this new protein was developed that we didn't understand.
I don't know about
And it
that.
wasn't tested on animals or humans. So the gluten protein, what it does is it becomes like a slime almost on the little villi on your tummy, which stops everything from being absorbed for some. So you get that very gassy feeling.
Yeah.
That's
For some people, just gives you post-pasta big tummy.
Yeah.
For other people, it feels more like food poisoning.
You get that
And
in
I think
beer
because
too.
I was a chunky girl and I loved to carb, I wasn't in the media. I wasn't just having one slice of bread. I was like eating my way through my day and I was really getting affected. And then with the dairy also. So being vegetarian and then taking out dairy, I was basically, people thought I was vegan, even though I'd have an egg and honey. And then, like you said, Cape Town, easy to eat like that. Go somewhere,
Easy.
they're like,
Checkers,
vegan this, vegan that, so whatever. When I got to Durban, they were like, okay, you vegetarian.
Carnitas.
Here's a cheese samosa.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
kind of wheat, kind of cheese,
Yeah.
bruh.
Oh.
And they were like, but
Go
you're
to Cape Town then.
vegetarian, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I started dreaming about meat and like shit like that because I gave up smoking. I was a smoker for many years. I gave up smoking about 12 years ago, but still I was like Stevie Blues, guys, loved it.
Yeah.
Giving up smoking was hard. Giving up bread, harder. Okay?
yes.
And then I started dreaming about meat and all this
Yeah.
and a little bit meat sandwiches. And then I thought, if I ask myself honestly, what is a meal in front of me that would make me satisfied? Do lentils and make me satisfied. But I can have a piece of meat and cauliflower and I'll be like, done. And I had to realize that even though I do yoga and all of this, I'm not a vegetarian. And I have to listen to my own body.
Yeah.
And I think it made me a better teacher as well because I can look at you and say, if you want to be vegan, be vegan. Honestly, if you want to be vegetarian, if you want to eat. Your body, your life, your choice. Stop asking other people what you want. And I had tried to do the way that I thought was right and I get it. I get it that we shouldn't be eating 5 different types of meat in a day. Your body has to try and process and moderation and. But to answer your question in a very long-winded way, I am flexitarian.
Nice.
I don't eat wheat or dairy just because of how it makes me feel. Not because I've got willpower, because I shit myself. Basically. And it's just not sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at my heaviest, I was 100 kgs, boys. Now just over.
Hectic, I'd never say.
Yeah, no, it's quite embarrassing.
100 kilos.
And how did I share? Well, dairy, I lost about 10 kgs in 4 weeks. Just with
What?
dairy. Just no dairy.
So no milk in the 3/4 flat white,
No
boy.
more milk in the
But you know
three-quarter
what?
flat
Someone, like, it's so ridiculous, and I get it. They're like, milk is there to make babies big quick. Milk is there to make
Calcium.
little cows big cows quick.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you are someone who needs to get big quick, smash the dairy.
Yeah.
Gigi will drink cups of milk.
Really?
Milk. Yeah, but I mean, the O's burning 6,000 calories in a day.
6,000.
Yeah. You see, Aquaman, when
Aquaman.
the kilometers they run in a game, it's crazy.
So how's his diet? What is he eating on a day-to-day then?
So he's really simple, actually. He's not a fussy eater at all. He really, I'm sorry. He really can't handle cucumber or any varieties of. So like dill, cucumber, pickles, that he's just like, also pesto for some reason. So if I don't want to share my food, I'll be like, can I have a pesto and cucumber or something?
Put it all over the show.
But he loves braaiing.
Oh,
so he loves to
standard.
put meats onto the braai. And because he's a farm guy, he really appreciates a good quality game meat. And so do I actually, because if you've got, if you taste beef from someone's cow that they had at a farm that has been looked after, whatever, and you taste like a run of the mill, you can taste the difference. So we eat a lot of venisons, whether it's wildebeest. I've eaten zebra, buffalo,
And how
Inyala, Impala, the best meat I've ever had. It's
Really?
light, it's lean, it's delicious. It's so, like, it's been...
Does it
come
taste
on.
like steak?
Yeah, but the best steak.
but it's
So, like was it a buffalo burger I had? Guys,
I think it's because
so
of what
good.
they eat.
Of course.
Yeah.
Those animals. That's
So with
what makes
Gigi,
them.
he loves to cook the meat and be hands on with it. So he'll braai it, and then I will always then add like a salad and a veg option. He doesn't eat lots of shit, so he's not someone who comes home and loves like chocolates and chips or whatever. But I just need to feed him a lot. So if we order somewhere,
10 eggs.
he'll get 2 pizzas and a pasta or something. Like if we're getting a takeaway. And he'll often eat maybe the pasta and 1.5 pizzas.
Wait, sorry, the 2 pizzas and the pastas for him.
For him? Not for you.
Not sharing it. Oh, shoot.
So it's 2 pizzas, a pasta, and yours is?
And then so if they have a gluten-free base, sometimes I'll get a cheeseless. So I'll go with a vegan pizza and then I'll add chicken. And every time someone comes back and says, sorry, just checking, the vegan pizza gluten-free with chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Because vegetarian food's much more like flavorful.
Wait, I want to tell you, this is an amazing hack. You get a vegetarian pizza and then you add a meat because vegetarian pizza is packed. They pack it with stuff.
Yeah, facts. Because of the flavor. The flavor.
And because, but he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's huge.
And then,
what's his weight?
Mozzarella.
What's his weight?
Like I think 120.
So I was going to say 160.
And it's just pure muscle there. It's just pure muscle.
Trust, it's pure muscle.
Keri Miller's really happy.
Guys, I must say, everyone deserves to find their #GG.
Yeah.
I realized, and I mean, respect to every man I've dated. I'm so grateful for all the lessons.
Yeah.
But I like to find someone who you genuinely are like besotted with, but also respect like to another level. Like the way that I hold myself when he's not around is with such respect for him and for our relationship because I feel like I've got such a prize. And I don't feel like he's better than me or that he's like, he's going to, no, not like that. Like I'm so grateful. And we have our things, obviously. And I can be hardcore. And sometimes he gets in the car and let's say just drives to Pretoria for a week. But anyway, because I can be hard. But he is such a good man. And what I'm about to say, women might want to smack me, but he makes me want to do his laundry. And what I mean by that is I want to look after him.
Let's talk about that.
I want to, and I've always been like, fuck that, I would never. When he comes back, I'm like, what do you want for dinner? What do you want? What do you want? I want to feed you. I want to have your stuff ready, but don't expect me to.
Yeah.
If you ever ask me what's for dinner or where are my clothes, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Okay, but what about what's for dinner? That's
No,
different.
no.
It's nice. It's sweet.
Okay, well, that's a difference.
Yeah.
But dinner's ready. What's for dinner? Nah, fam.
Yeah.
Nah, fam.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's made me understand why people say things like, I met my soulmate or I want to get married. Because I was like, why are you?
You are really glowing.
You
are talking about.
You love this man.
You've got a smile from ear to ear right now.
And you're shiny. You're like,
Hey,
yo, I love this boy.
You could write a book about this guy.
Also, shout out to the Botox, but also, no, but legit, man, he's just a good man. When I met Gigi, he reminded me actually of like, but is that okay for you? Or is that how you want to be treated? Or are you really going to laugh at those jokes? Or is that, what did you just say?
Yeah.
And not that he changed me, but he also did remind me. I was like, oh, hold on a second. I am accepting things that aren't okay because I'm so grateful for my job. Or I'm so grateful to be where I am.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started being like, hold on, guys, not okay. And then so I got it. They were like, what? Wait, what? But this man started saying to me, but you are my woman. And like, the boys would send him videos when they were teasing me on Instagram, like a joke. Send him a video and I didn't know they were videoing me and they'd be like, oh, has anyone seen my lock? Or like, gee, I wonder if the show, and I would always tune or whatever. And they'd send it to him and instead of him going, oh, he'd reply and say, is that funny? Is that funny? How is that funny? You're hurting her feelings. Or and then I realized I was like, he's sticking up for me. Now if he's sticking up for me, why am I not sticking up for me?
yourself?
Sure, and they're probably shit scared of him, bro.
Yeah, flip. Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, bodyguard.
Yeah,
eh?
that's really cool.
And he just made me
Feel safe.
Yeah, and also but made me back me. He made me stand up for me and he made me like me. And that's, I think, the most beautiful thing is that no one knows if you're going to last forever. Of course, I hope we do. But you never know that. And I want him always to know he's free. And what I mean by that is he's free to do as he chooses. And we are all free. All of us are free to do any action you want, even if that means killing someone. You are not free of the consequence. So yes, he is free to be and do whatever he likes and whatever he wants. And I want him always to do what he wants. Because if someone says, oh, I didn't go to that club because I've got a girlfriend, then you're not doing what you want. I want him to do what he wants. Because then he will feel free and he'll be happy with me. Because if one of us start to, I hate the word compromise, guys. I think it's the worst thing you can do because now you've got two half-happy people.
True.
So imagine you are totally you and then she or he is totally him or her, they, and then the two of you can just be your fucking selves together. And
bring
it's
out the
taken me
best
long
in each
enough,
other.
but the amount of times I heard people in their 20s say, oh, you know, this is it. So if I don't get married by 30, I was 39 when I met him. 38, 39. And like, I'm so happy. I'm just so much happier. I feel like it's a good combination, and I really think everyone's got that. Everyone has that ability to find their like relationship ikigai, you know?
Yeah. Because toxic relationships can finish you. Like date the wrong person and you like 5 years behind.
Yeah, but it's your choice.
Yeah.
That's the thing is we've all been there. I don't know about, obviously I don't know you guys. I know that I have self-chosen. You cannot put the blame on someone else.
We've all been there.
I've allowed myself to be in situations that were super not okay, where you know that either something's going wrong or you yourself are being inappropriate. You know when you're behind the scenes and you're sending a message, and even though you're not doing anything wrong, you know that you're opening a door that you shouldn't be opening.
You know.
And then there's just a sense of not even just maturity, but courage.
Yeah.
Because you know how courageous it is to come up and say, Josh, I love you. But there's someone I've met and I would like to explore something with him.
Wow.
Sure.
That's hardcore.
Wow.
That's hardcore. That's courageous.
Yeah.
It's rather to be like, Josh, I love you. I'm going to my friend's house. And then you hook up.
I appreciate that type of honesty.
Yeah, it's better to just be like,
Of course it's better, but guys, it's hard.
It is hard.
No, for sure.
Because of feelings.
Choose your heart.
Yeah.
Choose your heart.
Just relationship or being honest with someone.
Yeah,
True.
that's facts.
What's Keri Miller doing now?
So interesting you asked me that, because this last month I actually hit the proverbial rock bottom, like the rock bottom. I was on the tiles at my house crying. I can't, had no car, run out of money, had no career, no purpose, like no one to wake up for and take to school, no one to make a sandwich for. And Gigi also feeds off my energy. So when I'm like that, he backs off a bit because his thing is to retreat, which I get. So then I felt completely alone, rejected, and. And as they say, when you're at the bottom, you can only go up. And then, something just clicked. I can't remember what it was. Oh, this number 33 has been coming up for me this whole time. And I just got this tattoo. And something happened and I was just like, and I opened this book and it was on page 333. And the thing on it was basically saying, you must expect the best. The universe will give you exactly what you expect. If you expect celestial gifts and support, that's what you get. If you expect hardship and for shit to just go down, that's what you get. So yes, you can prepare for the worst, but expect the best, because you will get what you expect. And don't forget to ask for it, because it is like God is, I say the word God loosely, okay? So whatever you want to put there, universe, God, energy, it, him, her, it, they are saying like a waitron, what do you want? I'm hungry. What do you want to eat? I'm hungry. What do you want to eat? Here's a prawn pasta. I'm allergic to prawns. I asked you what you want. But we're so scared to say what we want, because what if it doesn't happen? Then we're let down. So I'd rather not say what I want. But anyway, that day I was like, you know what? I want to be mobile again. And I messaged my old car sponsor and he replied straight away. And he was like, yeah, but are you okay with an EcoSport? Like, it's not going to be a big Ranger or... I was like, are you joking? Of course. And I picked up my car yesterday, guys.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
I bought my Ford Ranger from halfway.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Nice.
So this is the thing, is that for me, that was me going, literally, I'm getting my wheels back. And I picked it up yesterday and it's small and it's fuel efficient. And you know what? It's exactly what I need. I don't need anything more. And yes, it's branded. And to be branded is, you know, there's 2 coins. It's not always great. But anyway, I'm so grateful. So now some stuff is picking up. Women's Month, I'm going to a few different like ladies events to talk about this whole thing. Your body being your longest relationship, you know, choosing your hard. And all of these things that I've kind of learned. And if I may say, I want to be like a life highlights package. I don't have kids. I don't have a freaking bond. Let me read the long books. Let me watch the boring documentaries. Let me put it into fun language. Let me tell you about it. Because I'm going to double learn it. You don't have the time to sit and do it. And then pay me something, because I need to pay my rent. And so as of now, like August 2023, I'm kind of going to get back on my feet.
Nice.
And it's Women's Month.
I would love to podcast.
Well, luckily for you, you have a face for podcasts.
That is very nice of you. But thank you. That's very nice of you. And I just, you know what, I feel like, and this is going to sound so like Kanye, I need to stay humble, like super humble. I have to, no matter what comes my way now, I have to remain that, because this is it. I have to understand that everything that's happening is not Keri Miller. I am not doing this. Me here, it's not because of me. You got hold of me. So this is because of you. Everything is serving some sort of other higher purpose. And just like I do my yoga classes, I don't plan them, but I come prepared. So what I mean is I walk into that room ready for anything. If I see 4 people with back issues, today's a back class.
Yeah.
If I see 2 pregnant people, we don't do twisting. So I want to be able to be that person that can provide the everyday person just with a little bit of a reminder every day that our life is not supposed to be shit.
Yeah.
That we actually, someone said, oh, enjoy. Someone's actually telling to you to be in joy. Can you be in joy? When was the last time you were in joy? Like, I just feel like we're missing out on our lives. This is not a rehearsal. This is it. And even if you believe in other lives, we will never come back as this person in this body with this face.
Yeah, for sure.
MJ Mkize, best O ever, crazy O. He showed me this amazing video when this guy says, if I gave you, I'm just going to a random number, if I gave you 1.5 million rand every day, but boys, you've got to use this 1.5 million rand today. Nothing carries over to tomorrow. How much are you going to spend today? At 12 o'clock, it all goes back to 0.
I'll spend the whole thing.
The whole thing? How much of the 1.5 mil?
Yo, I reckon 500 maybe.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
500, but it all disappears at 12. You don't get to keep some for
But I
tomorrow.
know that I'm getting another 1.5 tomorrow.
Maybe.
Oh, there's a maybe.
No, I'm spending the whole thing.
Whole thing? Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have to kill it too.
Point is, that's how many seconds you get in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're getting those seconds tomorrow. How are you spending those seconds? Because it's like someone saying to you, here, you can buy this car right now. So I'm just going to scroll Instagram.
Yeah.
You can, I'm just going to, and for me, I think, can I, by reminding myself of all these things that I've got tattooed all over me, also maybe plant a seed in you and you, so that when you go home, you maybe are a little bit nicer to your family because we don't know if we've got tomorrow's 1.5 million. And maybe you go home and instead of just going, oh, Netflix, I go, I must phone my gran.
Yeah.
She's 82, man.
You got to spend
I don't know
time.
if I got my phone call tomorrow. And it's not about Keri,
Sure.
but it's about the message that you get.
Keri, I think you've got a lot to offer
For sure. For sure.
people.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a massive opportunity for you to do a podcast for yourself.
Yeah, I hope so.
Women's
I think
health.
there are so many people.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling there are so many people who need to listen to you.
There's so many people that
If
are
that makes sense.
like my mom, for example,
Yeah.
that listen to the show because there was a female who was strong and
there's-
independent.
yeah.
So I
You
have
get
a
what I'm
name
saying?
idea, and I thought
Yeah.
maybe I would tell you boys because I've never said it out loud. And
Let's
I'll
go
say,
for
you
it.
can tell
Go.
me if it shits or not. My whole thing is about, like I said, being a highlights package. And so reminding you of just like, not to do things my way, but to do things your way, but I'm reminding you. And then I was like, imagine living vicariously.
Wow, that's smashing.
No, like
That's so good.
What is that?
That's so.
You better get it.
That's so good.
You better get a good
That's a
logo
sma-
for that.
You
That's
better
nice.
trademark that now.
Because I was like thinking
Because if
you were
Keri
going to say
Hills-
Keri's Corner.
Yeah.
But then you went living vicariously. Oh, the play
That
on
is
words.
so mad.
What do you think?
And you
Yeah,
can make the
it's
K
nice.
like a big letter in
Yeah.
the logo.
I even thought like the K like I have on my ring finger with the
Yeah.
crown.
Oh, that looks nice. That looks so nice.
Yeah. You need to get into. You need to
Definitely,
get
yeah,
onto
for
it
sure.
though, Keri. You need
I
to get
think
onto
that's
it.
the one. That's a winner.
Living like it's for real.
That sounds like a magazine, boo.
It sounds cool.
Eh?
Because I thought both of that, obviously, someone always says, when you see someone overseas, you're like, oh my God, I'm living vicariously through him. Or
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh,
Well, wait a minute.
I can spell it with my name,
Yeah.
obviously.
It's even like a clothing brand name. Literally.
Okay, so you guys give me the thumbs up.
I think
Yeah.
you've got something.
Like
what does our
yo-
producer say?
yeah.
Do you think it's...
Yoga pants.
I think you've got
yoga
something
pants.
there.
You on it.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, listen, you are not using yourself to
The
your full potential.
100%.
You
And I
remind
feel
me
like
I think her name is Mel Brown.
The Spice Girl.
No.
If you want to be my
No. It's not
like
her.
Spice Girls.
She's
what is she?
she's an author, man, and she tells good stories about everything.
Yeah.
And her life
got a voice too.
and stuff like that. Please check her out on Spotify or something like that.
will.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she's
You guys, you know what I
amazing.
realized? And I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. So these guys, they followed me on Instagram and I hadn't listened, and I'm so sorry. And I hadn't listened to a podcast then. And I also thought, I want to whatever. And now that I'm here, I'm going to tell you too that I'm realizing more than anything that I needed you two tonight. Like, I'm not even
man.
joking. Like, this is like no cameras, no anything. Like, you two have been like a message for me after a very hard time.
Oh.
We're so glad.
And the fact that you're everything.
You're so
You know
glad.
that whole like that thing people say when when you feel like there's darkness around you and you feel like you've been buried, you've actually been planted.
Yeah.
The thing is, you were on our list before this whole thing even happened.
It's just like, I'm just so grateful for you both. I don't think I know this is like so cheesy now, but I don't think you realize, because I just, like, my whole self-worth and, you know, I've always been like the plus one.
Yeah,
and you two just, you just made me feel really good.
No,
Shots.
Keri, listen. It's,
So, thank you.
Thank you.
You
the star.
You
It's the apple juice, guys. The apple juice talking.
We spoke authenticity, and I think, I mean,
You've been amazing. And you are amazing. And you always will be amazing. So
Start,
We should get
continue.
matching tattoos.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, he's so
Hang
scared.
on.
In the episode we did with Paul, Paul was like, listen, I'm going to tattoo all
Hang
of
on.
us. And he was like, no, now you have to. Keri's asked.
Jeez, Keri's asked.
Keri's asked. It's not
please,
anybody,
I'll run
it's
it by
Keri.
the wife, but flip. I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, well,
I don't
Keri's
know
going to
where
help
I'm
us.
do
We're going
it.
to put
I don't
something.
know.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
We have to. This has been a big deal
Paul can
today.
put it on an episode. Can be like a behind the scenes
Tattoos
episode.
are sentimental. The way you've come up with yours are awesome. I need to.
Me too. Mine are
Please.
Hold on a second,
sentimental.
but you remember, when you get it, the process of getting it becomes the sentimentality.
Yeah, facts.
You
Yeah.
could literally get like this glass tattooed on. People are like, what's the
Facts.
glass? Well, okay, so we did this podcast. That's the thing.
That's pretty cool.
People get so freaked out.
You see.
It's way more hectic to name a child than get a tattoo.
I know.
How keen to have Chaka getting tattooed
Everybody
on a podcast.
listen
That
to
needs to
this.
happen. That has to happen. Chaka needs to get tattooed on a podcast. You need to get tattooed. I get tattooed. Pause here.
I don't know where
Two
I'm
guests.
putting it.
No, you gotta.
You know what? When we get 100,000 subscribers,
Is it? Is that it?
I'll put it on.
10,000.
sir.
10,000. 10,000.
Okay,
Come on.
10,000.
10,000. 10,000. Baby
I'll
steps.
put it on.
Baby
I'll put it
steps.
on.
So
But I'm not going
10,000
tribal.
subscribers. We're coming to Keri's yoga studio. We're getting tattooed right there with Keri.
Yeah.
Done.
Tattoo with a view at the studio. It's so
Tattoo
sick.
with a view.
Okay.
I have this whole would you rather situation that I always ask my
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
of, like, if you could, and you have to tell you will be invisible,
Yeah.
you could either go back like 500 to 1,000 years
Yeah.
in time, or forward 500 to 1,000 years in time, right?
Do I get to come back?
Yes, yes.
And does it affect anything?
No, you're invisible. You cannot change the process of anything.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like,
I'm going forward.
yo,
I'm going
man.
back. I'm
Yeah.
going back.
So that- I
I'm going to
feel
win
like
the
that with
lotto
the-
10 times.
That's what I'm going. That's why I'm going forward for.
No, you can't though, because you've gone forward. So you've passed the draw. How are you going to get the draw?
No,
You can see it in the newspaper.
I can see it in the newspaper. Oh shit! Yeah,
I
bro,
messed up. I was thinking the same thing as him, but I just said I could go
No,
back.
you're gonna come back poor as you are. Yeah, no, go forward, eh?
What would you do? Would you go forward?
I don't know, bro. Like, so many things. Imagine seeing this place 500
Yo.
years ago, like still cruising with animals,
Imagine.
everything. But I was like, imagine going forward, and then like, what happens to my family? Does my
Yeah.
family die? Because, by the way, I am like, my family, the Millers, they die now. Our Millers, because there's no boys Millers that have had babies.
David Miller's around.
Yeah, but he doesn't have babies.
Okay.
And truth be told, I'll be honest now, guys. We've told everyone we're cousins, but we're not actually. We did it because. So listen, no, we
The
decided.
Davy train.
We decided together.
He's not my cousin.
No, we decided together because he's single, he's a Miller, you're single, you're a Miller. You guys get married and you don't have to change your name.
Ever heard of hillbillies?
And then we were like, let's just
We're cousins.
the cousins vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very pretty.
Yeah, he's good looking. He is good looking.
But we just thought it would just be easier, and then so now everyone's like your cousins, and it did make our lives a lot easier because everyone stopped trying to like pseudo couple us up.
yeah.
So yes, but he doesn't have kids either, and neither does his brother, and my brother doesn't have kids, and then the rest of the Millers were girls.
So this
And
is
so,
where
like,
it ends.
My sister's got kids, but they're not Millers. So it's an interesting thing because then I think if I go forward in time, like what happens to my family? Obviously,
Your
like, the
tree
Millers
ends
are not, but
and
like. It's just weird and bizarre. The moon landing situation, all those conspiracies. I'd love to like go check it out.
Pyramids.
Pyramids. Pyramids.
Oh, pyramids! Don't get me started.
Pyramids.
How did they get? That's it.
That's it.
Aliens.
That's where I'm going.
But I want to
Aliens
see that
built it.
shit because
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
I've never seen it in real life, guys.
Yeah, same.
Oh, it's so weird. You're talking about it right now. So right now we're going into what's called Lionsgate Portal.
What is that?
Lionsgate Portal happens around the 8th of August.
Yeah.
The Mayan New Year was yesterday. So whenever you listen to this, yesterday was the 26th of July.
Yes.
Yes.
So the 26th of July was known as the Mayan New Year.
Oh, hit
and the
it.
Mayans, they were on top of their shit,
Yeah, they were
right?
fire.
Yeah.
It also opens what they call an energetic portal. And now I'm probably losing most of you. But anyway, the pyramids is where all like the magic happens. And people flock to the pyramids now in August. The 8th of the 8th is when it happens.
Wow.
And just so you know this, and one of my teachers was there last year, there is a direct line underneath the ground and a water canal that runs from the pyramids to Durban Harbour, guys.
Durban Harbour.
And it is known that Durban, and this is the thing, why so many energy healers are here. Think about it. Durban is the biggest place, the biggest concentration of Indians outside of India. Indians are the most spiritual. I mean, unfortunately, I don't mean to sound stereotypical here. Hinduism, or like the yogic, or the Indian.
Yeah.
The direct line from the
pyramids
to Durban. And please look this up, because if I'm talking shit, you must call me on it.
Yeah.
But and they say, people come and say there's a vibe, there's a special vibe here, the place.
I always say this is where I want to retire. Wait. Spanner in the works. Apparently, there's a pyramid in Antarctica.
Yeah, there is. Have you seen that?
Now.
So they've discovered all these pyramids, not only in Egypt, right? In Antarctica, it's actually forbidden. You can't visit there.
Lies.
Yeah, facts. It's been portrayed as a mountain, right?
But it's
covered. It's a pyramid. There are pyramids in Antarctica. And it's being spoken about now all the time. So
now that brings up a spanner in the works.
I love that.
And there's not only pyramids in Antarctica, there's multiple pyramids across the world that they're speaking about.
So I think we need to get the Load Shed podcast a sponsor to go and you guys, we'll call it the pyramid scheme.
Ooh.
And you guys will go.
World Ventures.
And you guys will go and find all the pyramids.
The three of us.
Whoa.
The three of us.
Am I the plus one girl?
Yeah, you're coming.
The first lady of
the first lady, Michelle Obama. Come on, you're coming with us. We gotta go.
Oh, that would be sick, eh?
That would
Mary
be
Killer.
sick. I've always thought about the pyramids, and everybody has I've even watched this thing on Netflix called Ancient Apocalypse. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Crazy. And they speak about how we believe our civilization believe we're at the peak of civilization. Bullshit, right? They say that we're the sixth civilization that's existed. Sixth, okay,
yeah,
right?
I can believe that.
So technology during that period was way more advanced than we believe it to be. Do you know that?
Before us.
Yes.
I'm talking about like pyramids, Egypt, ancient Rome.
But think about how the stones were cut so perfectly and placed so perfectly. And
unreal. Doesn't make sense. And there's even this bird, and I need to get the name because I keep forgetting, that they found. It's a wooden bird in Egypt. And it looks like a kid's toy. And they always thought, it's an artifact from a kid's toy. Bullshit. It's not. This bird, they built it in life form. You can go on YouTube, go on your phone when you go home. They built an actual size of the specs of the bird that they had on the artifacts.
Yeah.
And they've put it in the air and it flies like an aeroplane.
Stop it.
Wow.
Do you know that? It flies like an aeroplane. And they thought it was just a little toy, a kid's toy. It's called the bird of day, and you can Google it, bro, like an ancient Egypt wooden bird. Crazy.
He's like, I'm not going to use my data on that thing.
Yeah, not that. But
they chuck it.
But they built an actual size one, and it actually flew, bro, across Egypt.
Holy smokes.
Across Egypt?
Well, I mean, like a certain portion of Egypt, and they were like, how is this?
Like a bird frisbee, or like more impressive?
Yeah,
it's like an airplane, like a paper airplane, but a bird. So I think it
looks like a bird. It's like a wooden bird.
The
it looks like a toy.
Saw it and they created that thing.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that was just one of the things. And then they also speak about the pyramids being possible energy sources that were able to generate energy.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
So that's would you rather, back or forward? Now imagine going back and seeing that.
While I'm back, you guys like, yo, what happened to the pyramids? Like, I know, but I can't tell you guys.
No, but I'll give you $1 million rand, you know what I mean?
I'll be like, okay, tell me, here's the money. Fair trade.
You go back, I'll go forward.
Exactly. So we'll go, I'll just be in the middle.
You'll be like, what's happening?
I'll let you guys know what's going on. I'm like, nothing's changing. I was like, Shaka, what have you done?
But that's the thing with the world, bro.
Yes,
we don't know enough. We know just enough to keep us going and to keep the masses settled and calm, but we don't know everything. And that's why I said that UFO thing today was like, how much do we know?
So I'm going to just change the wording of that, because we, and again, it's going to sound a little bit hippie, but as humans, we are connected to whatever the source is that created us. So we actually all do know.
Yeah.
But we overthink. So what happens is, have you ever had the thing, and you know what, actually, perfect example, when people are doing exams and people's like, don't cross out your first answer, it's often right. It's because your gut gives you.
Yes.
And then you overthink something.
I failed an exam like that.
Yeah, but that's it. So we actually, somewhere in our gut, we know.
Yeah, I know we do.
And then we override our instincts because we're clever.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to drive straight. No, I am. Why? No. And then you drive straight and then you go over a pothole and your tire and you're like, but I thought about going left. Why didn't I? We override it because we're smart and we allow our heads to override. And that I think is the problem about being human.
Your gut,
is that we override the gut.
Yeah.
We override the gut, and the more we override it, the less it talks to us. So the quieter it is.
Yeah.
But if you do actually start to listen to your gut, it is remarkable. Like in this last time now, and I think unfortunately you do need something traumatic to happen, and it's so shit. But someone loses someone, or they have a really traumatic experience, and they have some sort of moments of clarity that changes their life for the better.
Yeah.
And that's something else I'd actually love to share with you guys. Is also recently something that came up for me was, we say good days, bad days, positive, negative. And I looked at a sound wave randomly sideways, and I was like, why would we say up and down? It's just left and right.
Facts. Yo.
Like, that's what yin and yang is it
Sound
not?
like-
Yeah, hey, yeah, it's left and right. Like,
yeah, and then when you look at it,
like
it's just
when
like
you
this.
say, I lost my job, left.
Yeah.
And then I got to be a podcast that actually showed me what I really is right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then my sister got sick. And in hospital, she met her husband.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
flipping
So it's not about
insane.
ups and
It's
downs.
not about yay and because we need silence to appreciate noise. We need noise to know what silence is. We need light for dark. We need dark for light. Like, it's the yin and yang. It's the left and right. And if we can realize that on the shit days, this is a left day or a right day,
Yeah, for sure.
rather than
I feel woke F now.
Vicariously.
Vicariously.
That's amazing.
If Vicariously
For
is
reals,
not
guys.
running in August, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to make sure I find
You
Keri's
gotta
house
get on it.
and I'll be
Well, I'm
like,
hoping
Keri,
that you
let's
guys
start
will,
writing.
Sometime after this whole recording, if you two will possibly just give me a crash course on how. Because
We're learning as we
We're
go.
1 month in, yeah.
We're raw dogging.
Are you 1 month in?
Oh, we 1 month in.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
God,
babies.
yes.
We fresh.
Oh,
Like,
babies.
we learning from YouTube.
I can't believe it. So
dude.
thank you for being here. You're giving me this mic. That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Thank you.
We did
Thank
the
you.
research. We did it
We
all.
did the research.
Yeah,
And then we just got
guys.
We've
involved.
had like a guest list set out
We
before we
we
even
took the
started
jump.
going.
Can I bring my man here to come with you guys? I think you'll
Yeah,
love him.
yeah, bring him.
Well, first
And
we're
we'll
going to
even
meet.
Brian while
We're
he's
going to
here,
meet him
we didn't wanna
at
do-
King's Park. We're going to go
Yes.
watch.
We're gonna go watch soon.
We got to
yeah.
watch King's
Yeah.
Park.
Listen, let me know when you guys want to come because it's
Yeah.
such a lovely experience in the family
Yeah.
room and stuff. You come with me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
and come and see because really it's a different side, and also it's reminded me, and this is something so beautiful about this whole place, guys. Everything that we've spoken about, and if you call yourself a resident of KwaZulu-Natal, you are one lucky human soul.
Yeah.
Because this place is a vibe. It is a vibe, and yes, we've got the lefts
And the
and we've got
rights.
the rights.
Yes.
No up and downs, lefts and
Yeah.
rights.
And also take responsibility, not just for your own life but for your community. Take responsibility for your road. Take responsibility for your space. Like I think of you two like this. You guys are doing cool things. You're like young, you're vibey, you're intelligent. Like if everyone takes some sort of a stand, we have the ability to make this place so beautiful because we've got a vibe that
we
New
do.
York can't buy,
No,
that
facts.
Canada can't buy, that Australia can't buy. Like we have got it already.
Yeah.
We just have to find our center.
100%.
Find
yeah.
our center,
Keri Miller.
Thank you for having me, guys.
What a beautiful show. You're an amazing person. We can't wait for the new chapter.
Wow.
And I know the new chapter, the book's open, the writing's on the page. It's just a matter of delivering it.
And if I may ask anyone watching, please just subscribe so at least we can get his tattoo done.
Yeah.
Subscribe
This is going
afterwards
to be
if you like.
insane.
10,000 and we get
Listen.
Chaka tattooed.
If you subscribe after this episode, you are welcome to my yoga for free. Please come anytime. Or I'll do if you want me to do your voice for your answering service, I'll do that. What else can I offer? Just subscribe, please. So you can come and
Be a
get
good
this
oak.
tattoo thing.
Chaka's
Yeah.
getting a tattoo on his bum.
Guys,
Left
be
cheek.
on the lookout though. We are vlogging this yoga sensation.
This yoga thing is coming out
Coming
soon.
to your studio.
But I want these boys behind camera to come
Yeah,
also.
Yeah,
they're coming,
the
they're
whole
coming.
team, the
We're
load
coming to
shed.
your studio.
We move as a
We are
pack.
posting that yoga
Yeah.
session on YouTube. Watch the space.
And I'm going to make sure I have no air in me for at least 3 hours before I get there. 'Cause
No, I'm just gonna make sure my thighs are just good. You
can move.
I think you'll be surprised, actually, boys. You'll be surprised at how cool
We're
it
definitely
is.
coming and we want to thank you, Keri. You're amazing.
No, thank you. It was Okay, one more thing. Sorry. So I have 1111 tattooed on me 3 times. Right. 1111. The numbers was also
Sometimes
very,
I always see that
exactly
like on the phone.
On the phone.
So today, I'm not going to lie, I got a little bit of a shock when I saw he mentioned a time and everything, and I was just, and then he sent a voice note, and the voice note came through at 11:11.
Get out of here.
And before I even listened to the voice note,
Dana, I told you I'm the madman.
I even realized, I was like, this is not about this podcast. It's not about me sitting here with you boys. Like, I realized when you sent that through to 11:11 before I listened, that for me, that's always my sign. Keri, get off your high horse, stop resisting.
Yeah.
There's something bigger at play. And the fact that this happened for me tonight, and I'm sorry to be so selfish, and I'm sorry that's not about you, that you guys have actually, I don't think you've realized, you've just told me what my next move is. And that's such a big deal for me. So thank you.
We are so grateful.
Thank you.
Keri, we're just happy that you came, and after listening to you, like, flip. I'm like,
you guys are amazing, and I'm so excited for I'm the next subscriber straight away.
Keri Miller.
There's only 9,999 to go.
Let's go.
Yeah, give me all your attention. One time for the misfits. Through the doors open on the highway, I promise you don't want to miss this. They say the good die young, but this is gonna be a long one.